different farms along here that you told me about.
What?
Oh, the old place here that they had all those kids and all those hollyhocks. And you never have liked hollyhocks since.
Oh, that was way over there.
Oh.
That was rock years.
You didn't like the kids, so you don't like hollyhocks?
I don't like hollyhocks.
So, Dad, did you drive on this road a lot?
No. Every once in a while.
Do you remember playing out here on these roads and riding your bike? And
Yeah. Mostly rode horses.
did you have to ride a horse to school?
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
About 20 minutes.
And then what do they do with the horse while you're in school? They just.
I turned it loose and I went back home.
But then how do you get home?
Well, I was usually down at the store at that time. But I walked it quite a few. Oh man, I can't believe how green that is. I never did see it like that.
Have you been to Garden Creek Gap, haven't you?
This is Garden Creek Gap, and Grandpa Chatterton remembers riding. Do you remember riding your bike through here, or what'd you
I
say?
never did ride my bike through here.
What do you remember about it then?
We used to come over here for picnics on this other side.
Turn and look at her, Doyle.
Huh?
I'm recording you.
Oh, you are?
So you used to come for picnics with all the chat.
Well, that's when they'd all congregate together, all the family.
The Armstrongs.
Yeah,
On the other side of the gap where we're headed.
yeah. Yeah, there was a little area there.
And that's where we came all the time, and my dad fished in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's interesting to think that he might have been up here a day or two before us. Or
Where they used to picnic.
Oh, they go up to that.
Go up there.
All the Armstrongs and Mom's family would come.
except not together.
Not together.
Where the hills are and the green up above that, that's where my grandparents lived on the Chatterton. It was there.
And the road is named Chatterton Road, isn't it?
Yeah,
Clear way over there.
yeah.
And the area's name is...
Well, they called it Arkansas, but I don't know why.
So, Grandpa, your dad and Mom met at school when they were little,
I
or
don't know
what?
how they met. No, I don't think they didn't meet in school.
Virgie.
Maybe a dance or something.
Virgie told me she worked in a bakery shop in Pocatello, and that he came in to buy something. And he liked her looks and came back a few days in a row to buy something, and then he asked her out.
Oh.
That's how they met. Speaking of yawning,
Grandma lived in a boarding house.
and worked in a bakery, and Ray, Doyle's dad, would come in and buy bakery goods. And he liked her and asked her out, and they went together and got married.
So where are we going now, Dad?
On the airboat.
And is that where you went to school, or what's?
No, I went to school right down here. I'll show you where the schoolhouse was. The church. But they're both gone.
You might want to look at her.
Tell her about the school itself. What do you mean?
How big was it? How
There
many
was
kids?
4 rooms. They only used 2. And they had the 1st to the 5th grade in one room, and from the other room they had from the 5th to the 8th.
How many?
See that where this metal building is right here? That's where the school was right there.
Did you go to school there?
5.
Ask him how many kids were in his class.
How many kids were in your class?
Just 2 in the same grade.
How many altogether, though?
Oh, there was probably 30. But see where these trees are right here? And the church sit right in there. It was a pretty good sized church.
And that's where you had your reception after you got married.
Out there.
This is where Grandma,
Yeah, let's walk
Virgie.
in. I could
The
use.
gate's open. I could use a walk anyway.
Yeah, me too. Stretch our
What
legs.
Get in front
so
of them.
skinny.
In front of them. Film them coming. Run ahead.
Okay.
Betty Lou.
We were just out here about 4 days ago.
Really?
Yeah. 5 days. And then where's your grandma and grandpa, Doyle?
Right over there.
You might want to film it too, Debbie. It's good for
Yeah.
genealogy.
Stand
she
behind
was-
it. Let me get Charles' picture.
Oh yeah, that's a cherry picture.
Looking forward to it. 1, 2, 3.
I'm in a hole of some. You can
Oh,
see
yeah,
how bony
Pearl.
his shoulder is.
Yeah. Pearl and Heber.
She was nice.
I was gonna, I don't know if this shows up. Who's that?
And this right
Julia
here.
was Ray's sister.
Oh,
And these
This-
people has got their tombstone here. That was their daughter,
oh,
June.
Well, look, I'll bet somebody's doing a little cottage. Okay, Grandpa Ziegler owned a big ranch out in Thatcher, Idaho, the Gem Valley, and there were no schools out there. And besides that, his wife, Patience, my mother's mother, was going to have a baby, and so Grandpa took him to Blackfoot, where his parents lived, rented him a little duplex, and he went to the ranch for the winter, and they were going to stay in Blackfoot all winter so the 2 older girls could go to school and Patience could have her baby near a hospital and a doctor. So one night, and it was only in September, I don't know, early in the year, one night they had tuna fish casserole for dinner, and after dinner, Patience took the rest of the tuna fish out of the bottom of the can and ate it with a spoon, I suppose. And later in the night, she came into the bedroom and woke up my mother, Louise Gardner, Louise Ziegler, and said, "Louise, I'm really, really sick. Will you help me to the outhouse?" And so Mom got out of bed and helped her mother, and they went out to the outhouse. Mom took her out there 2 or 3 times through that night. Finally, Patience got so sick, she said, "Run next door and wake up the lady," whatever her name was. She was a nurse. "Go wake her up and tell her how sick I am." So Mom went next door and woke up the nurse. The nurse,
Was Grandma then?
13 years old. The nurse came over and looked at Grandma Ziegler and said, "She is very ill. I've got a telephone in my apartment. I'm going to go call a doctor." And she went to call a doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh, she'll be all right. She just ate something and she's pregnant. She'll be all right. I'll come out in the morning and see her." And a little while later, she died. And they all thought it was from the tuna fish in the can. But I have often wondered if it might be that she had a tubal pregnancy and that the baby, it was time for the baby to grow or something, and I don't know, because she was in excruciating pain.
yeah.
She felt like she had to go to the bathroom, and she died.
Didn't Ray Chatterton die of food poisoning too?
And no, and so the next little while, they took Mom, who was 13, Lydian, my Aunt Dean, who was 8 or 9, and Aunt Ruth was only 2. And they farmed them out. They went to live with relatives. Mom lived with a great variety of relatives through those years in the winter to go to school. In the summer, she lived on the ranch and cooked for the whole family and took care of her sisters, the little 2-year-old and the 9-year-old. She did that until she got married. And then Grandpa married Esther about a year before Mom got married. Grandpa married Esther Ziegler, our step-grandmother. End of story. Okay, I don't know what year it was. I just looked at that tombstone. Anyway, Ray and Virgie, Doyle.
He died in 34.
In 34, okay. Ray and Virgie built a little cabin up in the Arkansas area where they farmed. And
Arkansas, Idaho.
No, it wasn't. There was a house there.
oh, there was a house there. They moved into it then. Anyway, the outhouse was above the house, right, Doyle?
Yeah.
And somehow or other the water got contaminated, and Ray and Doyle both got typhoid fever. And Ray died of typhoid fever. Doyle wasn't quite 3. And they thought Doyle was dead one whole afternoon. And then he woke up in the evening. He was in a coma or something.
How many days after his dad died did he go in that coma?
I don't know, Debbie. I don't know the sequence. But anyway, they had Ray in the lavender bedroom all laid out, and Doyle has hated lavender all his life. Uncle. Okay, Lula and Frank and Ray and Virgie all got in the car and went to California? Oregon. They went to Oregon. And Ray got real sick on the trip. And when he come home, that's what he had, was typhoid fever. Then he died. I don't know how long it took.
Start over, Dave.
Okay, after Ray died, Virgie had to give up the farm. She couldn't run it. And so then she took Doyle to her mother in Robin and left him there and went to Salt Lake to work. It was during the Depression, and people just had to do what they had to do to earn a living. So Doyle lived there till he was 10 years old, and then she came and got him. And she had married Roy. She introduced him to his new dad, said, pack your clothes, we're moving to Pocatello. So Doyle moved to Pocatello. He was in the 5th grade. And the Robin school system was behind the Pocatello school system. So Doyle had to repeat that grade.
Did you want to go or did you want to stay?
Yeah, how'd you feel about it, Dad, when they came to get you?
Oh, I don't remember.
Turn towards her, Doyle.
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
So you weren't traumatized or anything?
No, not really.
You'd never met Grandpa, though?
No, I don't think I have.
Keep in mind, though, Debbie, that his dad died when he was 3. So basically, he left him. He died.
Yeah.
His mother took him to live with her mother, and she left.
Yeah.
He grew up with his grandmother and felt secure and loved there. One day she came and got him, and he lost his grandmother.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he would have been traumatized.
Seems like it.
Related to most of the kids I was going to school with. Come to Pocatello, didn't know anybody. Wasn't very good.
So Grandma and Grandpa Ray were members of the church or not?
Well, my mother's always been a member of the church.
Was Ray?
Well, Ray smoked, didn't he, Doyle?
Yeah. I don't think he was a member, but his brother was.
Kenneth was.
Yeah.
But we've done their temple work now.
might have become a member after he married 80. I don't know when he
but
became a
he
member.
probably did.
I was just wondering why Grandma married Grandpa Roy if he wasn't ever a member.
Well, I think she was wanting to get married.
So weren't the Chattertons LDS?
I don't know. Was Grandma Chatterton?